Michael Jackson was the biggest star on the planet. But when a children's hospital tried to block him from visiting a young cancer patient because of policy, liability, and fear of the headlines, he made a decision that could have turned into a PR disaster overnight. What happened next didn't just surprise the staff. It gave one 10-year-old boy a memory powerful enough to outshine the machines keeping him alive. It was November 18th, 1993, in St. Louis, Missouri, a cold evening where the wind cuts through your coat the second you step outside. Michael had a show the next night. Rehearsal had ended late. The hotel schedule was tight, the security plan even tighter, and everyone around him was doing what they always did on tour: protect the machine. Because the machine was fragile. One wrong photo, one rumor, one misread moment, anything could explode into a story that swallowed everything else. Even a good deed could get turned into something ugly if the timing, the angle, or the headline was wrong. Earlier that day, a letter had found its way into Michael's hands. A plain envelope, no return address, no glitter, just 2 words written carefully across the front. For Michael. Inside was a single page, folded twice. The writing was shaky, like it had been done slowly, with breaks in between. It was from a kid. The boy's name was Tyler. He was 10 years old. He was in the pediatric oncology ward at St. Bridget's Children's Hospital. And he wrote one line that hit Michael harder than any headline. Could you sing to me once in my room like it's just me? Michael didn't speak for a long time after reading it. He just stared at the paper like it carried weight. His assistant, Marcia, stood nearby waiting for the safe answer. A gift basket, a signed photo, a phone call arranged through hospital staff. That was the usual system: safe, clean, controlled. But Michael folded the paper slowly, carefully, like it mattered how he handled it. "Where is this?" he asked. Marcia hesitated. "St. Bridget's," she said. "Pediatric oncology." "Tonight," Michael said. Marcia blinked. "Michael, your call time, your rest." "Tonight," he repeated. Not louder, just final. Within minutes, his team filled the room with reasons it shouldn't happen. His head of security, Dale, said it was too risky. Hospitals are uncontrolled. Too many entrances, too many people, too many ways this gets out. The tour coordinator warned him it could be twisted into a stunt. The publicist warned him one leaked photo could turn the ward into chaos. Reporters, fans, strangers calling the hospital for details. Michael listened. He always listened. He didn't dismiss the danger. He understood it better than anyone. Then he held up the letter. "He didn't ask for cameras," Michael said quietly. "He asked for a song." Dale exhaled through his nose, thinking fast. "If we do it small. No announcement, no photos, in and out." Michael nodded. "No photos." "And if the hospital refuses?" someone asked. Michael didn't hesitate. "Then I'll stand outside," he said, "and I'll sing from the sidewalk." That made the room go quiet, not because it was dramatic, but because everyone realized he meant it. He wasn't bargaining. He was committing. An hour later, 2 SUVs rolled through the cold streets of St. Louis, lights low, moving like they were trying not to wake the city. St. Bridget's sat behind bare trees and dim street lamps, warm windows, tired building, the kind of place that held more prayers than laughter. The parking lot was nearly empty, a few late-shift cars, a security booth with a bored guard, a world that kept turning even when a family's whole universe was inside one room. A nurse met them at a side entrance. Her name was Angela, and her hands shook as she spoke, like she was trying to stay professional and failing. "I can't believe you're really here," she whispered. Angela led them through a quiet corridor and called the administrator. She spoke softly into the phone, glancing down the hallway like she was afraid someone would see and cause a commotion. Mr. Harland arrived with a badge clipped straight and a face practiced in saying no. "We have protocols," he said carefully. "Privacy, safety, media risk." "No media," Michael said gently. "No cameras, no announcement. One child, one room." Mr. Harland hesitated, stuck between rules and the kind of moment that doesn't come twice. Angela spoke softly. "It's Tyler," she said. "He asked." The administrator's jaw tightened, then loosened again like he was choosing which part of himself would win. 15 minutes, he said, no more. They moved quickly. Service elevator, dim hallway, and into the pediatric oncology wing. Someone had tried to make it gentle. Stickers, paper stars, a mural of clouds. But the quiet there wasn't peaceful. It was careful. The beeps were softer here, but they were constant. Machines didn't stop just because someone famous showed up. Angela stopped outside a door with a paper turkey taped to it. "This is him," she whispered. Michael raised his hand to knock, then paused like he was steadying himself. For a second, he didn't look like a superstar at all. He looked like a man trying to enter a room he didn't want to disturb. Angela opened the door slowly. The room was dim, lit by a bedside lamp. A thin boy lay under a cartoon blanket, bald head, pale face, eyes too awake. His mother sat beside him, holding his hand so tightly her knuckles were white. She stood fast when she saw Michael, but no sound came out. Michael lifted a finger gently to his lips. Quiet. Not secrecy, just peace. Tyler stared at him like he was trying to decide if he was dreaming. Is it you?" he whispered. Michael took off his sunglasses. "It's me," he said softly. "Hi, Tyler." Tyler's breathing caught like his body couldn't decide if this was real. "I thought they were lying," he whispered. Michael smiled a little. "They didn't lie. You wrote me a letter." Tyler's eyes flicked to the nightstand. A small cassette player sat there, and a tape labeled MJ in messy marker. Next to it were a couple of tiny action figures and a folded drawing, crayon lines that looked like a stage and stick figure people. Michael glanced at the drawing for half a second, then looked back at Tyler. "You like music?" he asked gently. Tyler nodded, weak. "I listen, when it hurts," he said. Then after a pause, he added, "It makes the room feel smaller." That sentence hit Tyler's mother. She turned her face away quickly, wiping her cheeks. Michael sat down beside the bed. No big performance, no announcement, just close enough to feel human, close enough to be heard without effort. "I'll sing for you," he said, "just like you asked." Tyler's eyes widened. "Right now?" "Right now," Michael said, as if there was no other time that mattered. His mother covered her mouth, already crying. Michael took one breath and began. He sang "Heal the World" softly, quiet, warm, and simple. Not stage voice, not show-off voice. The kind of singing meant for one person. Tyler stared like he was watching the impossible happen slowly. His chest rose and fell in uneven little waves. Halfway through, Tyler's thin fingers tightened around his mom's hand. Tears filled his eyes, but he didn't look away. In the doorway, Dale shifted his weight as scanning the hall, but even he looked different now, like the job had taken a back seat to the moment. When Michael finished, nobody clapped, nobody moved. The silence that followed wasn't awkward, it was full. Tyler exhaled, shaky, relieved. "That's the first time," Tyler whispered. It sounded like it was for me. "It was for you," Michael said immediately. Tyler swallowed. "Can I ask you something?" Michael nodded. "Anything." Tyler's voice went small, the way it does when a kid asks something they're not sure they're allowed to ask. "Are you scared?" he asked. Michael paused, then answered honestly. "Yeah," he said softly. "Sometimes." Tyler blinked like that surprised him. "But you go out there anyway," he said. "I do," Michael said. "Why?" Tyler asked. Michael looked at him for a moment, then spoke simply. No speeches, no slogans. "Because someone out there needs it," he said. "And because when you give something, it gives you something back." Tyler stared at him. Then he whispered, "I don't feel strong." Michael leaned a little closer, voice gentle but firm, like he wanted Tyler to hear it clearly. "Strength doesn't always look like standing up," he said. "Sometimes it looks like staying here and still loving your mom through it. Sometimes it looks like saying what you need." Tyler's eyes drifted to his mother. "Don't cry," Tyler whispered. She laughed through tears. "I can't help it." Tyler turned back to Michael, embarrassed but hopeful. Can you Sing one more? He asked. Michael nodded immediately. Of course. This time he sang I'll Be There gently, like a lullaby. Tyler's eyelids fluttered, not because he was fading away, but because his body was finally unclenching. His breathing smoothed out a little, like the music was doing something the medicine couldn't. When it ended, Tyler's voice was barely a thread. Do you have to go? Michael glanced toward the door. Time. Rules. I have to, he said softly, but I'm going to do something. He pulled out a small laminated tour pass, simple, not flashy, and placed it on the blanket. This is yours, Michael said, so you remember tonight was real. Tyler stared at it like it was treasure. Then he whispered the sentence that broke the room open. I didn't think anybody would come. Michael's face softened. I came, he said simply. You mattered. Tyler swallowed hard, fighting tears like he didn't want to waste the moment. Will you tell people to be nice? He whispered. They talk like we can't hear. Michael nodded once, slow and serious. I will, he promised. Tyler lifted his hand with effort. Michael took it carefully in both of his. You're brave, Michael said. Tyler shook his head. I was scared. Michael nodded. Brave doesn't mean you weren't scared. It means you didn't give up. Michael stood and looked at Tyler's mother. You're doing amazing, he said quietly. She whispered, He is. Michael nodded. He is. At the door, Angela's eyes were wet. Thank you, she whispered. Michael gave her a small nod. Thank you for taking care of him, he said. Then he looked back at Tyler one last time. I'm going to try to see you again, Michael said gently. Tyler nodded, clutching the pass. Michael left the room quietly. No cameras, no crowd. Just a hallway with fluorescent lights and people trying not to show how much it hit them. 2 days later, a small envelope arrived at the hotel. A note from Angela. Tyler played your songs last night, it said. He told his mom. He sang like I was normal. And for the first time in weeks, he slept without waking up crying. Michael read it twice, folded it carefully, and put it in his pocket like it was the only thing that mattered. Because stadiums are loud, fame is bright, and none of it means anything if it can't reach a quiet room when it matters. And somewhere in St. Louis, in a dim hospital room, a 10-year-old boy had a memory that didn't smell like medicine for once. It smelled like music. If this story stayed with you, please like and subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that kindness can be louder than any spotlight. Have you ever seen someone use their influence to do the right thing when it would have been easier to stay away? Tell us in the comments and hit the notification bell for more untold documentary-style stories from the world of music.